Hello and welcome to this Kidney Cancer Support Network special. Today is World Kidney Cancer Day, and this year's theme, as I'm sure you've seen by now from our social media posts and things on the group forums, is the importance of we need to talk about how we're feeling. If you're watching this, I'm sure you are involved with a kidney diagnosis in some point, kidney cancer diagnosis. And today I'm delighted to be joined by a lady who is very dear to me, a lady called Alison. And Alison was my counsellor when I was diagnosed with kidney cancer on both occasions. And the medical professionals know the medical information and they can help you point you in the right direction. But that's where it ends, as far as I can see from the medical professionals. The nurse specialists are great, they can help. But I found I needed some extra support, and I had great support from my family. And obviously Kidney Cancer Support Network, but I didn't know about Kidney Cancer Support Network on my first diagnosis. So I had to do it alone without peer support. And I was referred by my nurse specialist to Macmillan for some person-centered therapy. And that's where I met this lady, Alison, who was absolutely invaluable to me. I'm sure she knows it. She probably won't admit it, but I'm not sure how I would have got through that first diagnosis and then the second one without her support. So I will hand over to Alison just to introduce herself, and then we're going to talk about the importance of needing to talk throughout a diagnosis and treatment. Hello, Alison.
Hi everyone, and thank you, Steve, for that. That was lovely. And no, you did the work, not me. I'm Alison. As Steve has said, I did voluntary work with the Macmillan team for nearly 7 years. Absolutely loved it. I was a person-centered counsellor, but unfortunately I had to leave because I got the diagnosis myself for dementia. So it's very, very early stages, but I've had to leave my counselling. But yeah, I loved it, and I loved just walking alongside the people that came into my room.
Yeah, I think that's important, isn't it? To say that a counsellor would walk alongside, not in front, behind. It's alongside you to give you the support that you need.
Yeah, you don't direct a client. When somebody's in your room, sat opposite you, it's their story, it's their life, it's their problems. And we just help carry the parcel, help carry the weight. And that's what we do, exactly. Just walk alongside and guide.
Okay, great. So the purpose of today, as I say, is just to go through a few questions to get your input on how important it is to talk about how we're feeling, Alison. So the first question I've got, from an experienced counsellor's point of view, why is it important for somebody with a kidney diagnosis to talk?
I think it's bad enough when you get the diagnosis of cancer. I think a lot of the time it's the word cancer that's scary. And once you've been given that diagnosis, that word, it's just hard. It's hard to accept it. It's hard to deal with it. It's hard to go through the process, the whole process. It's just hard. So to sit with somebody and be able to talk openly without your family there, I think your family are a major big part of getting through cancer, getting through the diagnosis. But I think you need time to be on your own, to be able to talk freely and openly and talk about things that you couldn't talk to your family because you'd be scared of upsetting them. I think to talk gets you through a lot of things.
Yeah, and we were talking before we were recording, Alison, and the one thing I think it's important to acknowledge with counselling, as I'm sure you will be able to explain a little bit more about, is about confidentiality and safe spaces for the client.
Yeah. I always used to say, as you remember, when somebody walks into my room, I first, before anything else, explain that this is their safe space. Nothing is talked about from that room, unless obviously there's self-harm or something else that we need. But we'd never ever go to a senior without explaining to the client first. So everything with your counsellor should be confidential.
Yeah, I agree. And it does help from a patient point of view or a client point of view to know that you are talking in confidence and you can openly say what you feel you need to say at that time. It really does help.
You need to feel safe, though. That is your place to feel safe.
Yeah. So did you find it easier as a counsellor for somebody to talk early in a diagnosis, or once the news had sunk in, or further along the journey? Was there any sort of rule that you found was easier for people, or was it dependent on the individual themselves?
No, it didn't matter when they came to me, whether they came before they got the diagnosis, after they got the diagnosis, halfway through, even when they've got the all clear, okay to come then, to start coming then. It's wherever the client themselves are up to, and it's not me to tell them what they want to talk about or when they need to come. And you've got to remember that it's got to be the client that wants to come. They can't be pushed into it. It's got to be at the stage when they want to talk.
Yeah, when they feel ready.
Yeah, definitely when they feel ready.
And you made an interesting point there. After treatment's finished and they may have the all clear, there may be no evidence of disease. Why would you say that is also important? Because I felt it was important.
Because even though you've been given the all clear, you've still got that in your head that, is it going to come back and bite me? Am I going to get it again? Everything that you get, perhaps a headache, a cold, are you going to start thinking, oh my God, is this something else? And you need to be able to work through it, because when you think about it, you've been on hell of a journey to get to that point of the all clear, and felt feelings that you've probably never felt before, and hopefully you'll never feel again. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's very important to be able to talk after, just to put things to bed, to box them up and put them away.
Yeah, I agree. Is it important for a carer or a family member to also talk about how they're feeling, and why would you say so if you think it is?
I definitely think it is. In fact, probably a quarter, maybe half of the clients that I had at Macmillan were carers and family, because they've got double the heartache, really. They're worrying about you and they're trying to deal with it themselves, and they're probably scared and they don't tell the person with the diagnosis. They can't say that's wrong. I can't say they can't, but it's hard for sometimes to say how they're feeling, because then they'd be saying, I'm scared of losing you, or I don't understand this, or I'm tired, or there's lots of things that they're feeling guilty for, and they're trying to help you, but also they've got to deal with their own emotions and feelings, and also they've got to have that safe space to be able to come. Maybe they'll just need one session to again offload, throw it on the floor, leave, and then try and get on with it the best they can. They can have one session, they can have more than one session, and again, they can also, if they want to, come together. They're more than welcome to go together in a lot of cases.
Yeah, I think that's important to recognise, isn't it? There's no one shoe fits all.
No.
Some people find it's best to deal with together. Some people would rather go it alone, or some don't want any help at all, but the carer or close family member needs the support to help the patient.
Yeah. I think it's probably new to a lot of people. It's a journey you're both going on, or that you and the carer are going on, that you may not have never been down that journey before. So it's new. Where do they turn? Where do they turn to? What do they do? You've got to be able to talk. Talking is so important to be able to survive, really. I mean, if you're bottled up with loads of stuff that's getting in your head and overflowing, the bottle can only get so full, can't it, before it overflows?
Yeah, and speaking from a personal point of view, especially on my second diagnosis, the opportunity to talk with you allowed me to clear headspace to face my treatment. It allowed me to be ready to deal with that rather than still be processing the diagnosis, going straight into treatment. It allowed me that freedom mentally to be prepared for my treatment.
And I think that's important. That headspace has got to be as clear as you can possibly get it. Not saying ignore it. I'm saying just talk about it, let it out, and then it's not mugging your head, is it? It's not, because even the diagnosis itself, even the treatment, sorry, itself is so hard, and each time you go, you could get worse with the feelings of your treatment. So you need somebody there. You need somebody to be able to make you feel better, to make you feel, to be able to, a lot of the time, to allow you to cry, to allow you to be sad, to allow you, if you want to do, just come into the room and sit there and say nothing. Just to be yourself, to be able to think through and sort out what feelings there are and what you want to do with them. How can you change? How can you help them? Yeah.
Now, obviously, counselling, with my experience with you, gave me a massive passion for counselling. It's actually, as a lot of people watching this will know, has made me choose a career in counselling. And I can't thank you enough for that. But one thing I have learned is counselling isn't for everybody. As you said rightly earlier on, you've got to be ready for counselling. You've got to want it to get the benefits of it. What other support mechanisms, or how else can people talk about how they're feeling, Alison? What would you suggest for others that aren't ready for counselling or don't feel it's for them?
Hopefully they've got a family they can talk to, the carers, charities. There's lots and lots of charities out there that people can get involved with. There's charities online, talk groups online. Also, being able to join groups like painting or photography or bowling or anything that they can do, any interest that they've got, they can join, and it's amazing how many people get talking in that sort of atmosphere. Because a lot of clients that I have that struggle to talk, and we do drawings, or we have paper, or we have stones, or we have things that they can hold and play with and mess with. And I think there's a lot out there. Telephone, if you don't want to do face-to-face, there's telephone charities, groups, support groups.
Yeah. I agree, and obviously with Kidney Cancer Support Network, we offer a platform for patients and carers to talk confidentially on a closed Facebook group. We provide on our website information if people don't want to talk to other patients, but they want to absorb the information and talk to family members about it. Then we obviously try and offer that. And days like today, with being this topic this year, we hope really ignite people into wanting to talk and being able to talk. I found this morning really helpful, Alison, and I really hope people watching this video can find a will or a need to talk and find somebody to talk on the back of what we've discussed this morning.
Yeah. Another way, just thinking on, I was just thinking about the groups, perhaps walking groups as well, where you're out in the fresh air, you're doing a slow walk. I know there's the support groups that do that sort of thing as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're doing charity, your charity's doing a fantastic job. So many people are helping people, and just having that ability to be able to talk to somebody, to be with somebody, to feel safe.
Yeah, and I think, again, from a personal point of view, on second diagnosis for me, I went through a treatment that was very, very scary, and you will remember the details of how hard that treatment was going to be. And when the consultants told me about that treatment, it was frightening, and they even gave me the option of, do you want to do it or not? And talking to patients within the Kidney Cancer Support Network community who'd been through that treatment really managed to bring me down and help me understand that it was doable. And the combination of the support that you gave me and the support that I got from the community really, really helped me through that treatment. And I hope that as a community, we can do that for other people as well who are facing similar journeys at the moment.
Yeah, I remember that being a scary moment, scary time. Yeah. I do remember that. But I think by you talking and being so open with your family and with myself in our little room, I think, as you say, that enabled you then to be stronger to deal with it. And knowing as well that once you've had your treatment and you're up to it, and when you're okay to come back into that room. And sometimes you were just to be able to sit there, just to be able to sit and have a cup of tea, or and be able to say what you want and to be able to voice your fears. And yeah, I think talking's good. Talking's the best medicine, I think.
It is. I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you on behalf of everybody at Kidney Cancer Support Network for your time today, Alison. And I hope, even if it helps one person going forward, then I think it's been a really valuable exercise. And thank you again for what you did for me personally. And I know we stay in touch a little bit now, and it really helps. And it's good. Thank you very much.
You don't have to thank me. You did all the work, as I kept saying to you. You did the work. I was just sat with you, and it was a pleasure. And it's nice to have done that and gone through that and made a friend at the end of it. So yeah, it's nice. And I hope everybody that's listening, that's going through this horrible time, finds the strength and finds somebody that they can talk to.
Thank you very much, Alison. I really appreciate it.